All right, it's 3:59. So do you guys see the full screen of the Sri Ahobila USA's SV story session screen, or what's going on? You can see it? Full screen?
I think I can.
Okay, Surya, Varshini, and Vasumati, can you guys see the screen like full screen?
No, it has the presenter screen up now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Let me go share screen. No. Here. Here. And then full screen. Now. Now. And now you should be good. Now you should be getting it all, right? All good? Okay. We'll wait for about 30 more seconds maybe. And then we get going into the presentation. Do we have everybody? We have Surya, Varshini, and Vasumati. Who else do we have? Samvrit, Sripurva, Sudarshan, Kannan, Lakshmi Narsimhan, Saumi. We have Vaibhav. We have Shriman, Srinath, Srimai, Shreyas. Okay. Vasundhara and Maitri, Samvrit. Okay, let's get started. It's 4:02. Let's get started with Acharya Tanyan. Yasya bhavad bhakta janarti hantoh praditvamanveshva vicharyaturnam thambhevatarasthamanam yadabhyam lakshmi nrusimham jaranam prabadhye ahobile garudashira madhye kripavajat kalpita sannidhanam lakshmya samalankita vamabhagam lakshmi nrusimham jaranam prabadhye krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopakumaraya govindaya namo namaha Namah Pannaganadhaya Vaikunta Vashavartine Shudisindhu Sudotpada Mandaraya Garutmate Shriman Venkatanatharyaha Kavitarkikesari Vedantacharya Varyome Sannidhattam Sadahridi Prapadhye Niravadhyanam Nishadyam Gunasampadam Sharanam Bhava Bhitanam Shadagopamunishwaram Sriranganath Shadagopayatindra Drishtam Lakshmi Nrusumha Shadajit Karunaikapatram Srirangavira Ragurat Shadagopakrityam Vedanta Deshikayatindra Maham Prapadhye Srimad Rangashathari Samyamivara Labdhagaman Tadvayam Srimad Veera Rahutvahatya Shadajit Padaravindaashrayam Srimad Vedavatam Sadeshikayatehe Karunya Vikshaspadam Seve Rangadhurina Shasanavasam Narayanam Yoginam Vedanta Deshikayatindra Katakshalabdha Trayanta Saramanavadya Gunam Budagryam Narayanaatya Yati Turvya Kripabhishiktam Shri Ranganatha Yati Shekaramashayamaha Shrimate Shivancharagopa Shri Vedanta Deshikayatindra Mahadeshikaya Namaha Shrimate Shri Lakshmi Samadhyapadaka Sevaka Shivancharagopa Shri Narayana Yatindra Mahadeshikaya Namaha Shrimate Shivancharagopa Shri Ranganatha Yatindra Mahadeshikaya Namaha. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome you all to another Sam SV story session on Saturdays. And today we want to actually do something slightly different and more fun for all of you. So what the organizers of the Sam SV class have decided here is to give the kids an opportunity, okay, to encourage the talented kids and also to showcase their creativity. I'll come to you, Vaibhav, just give me 1 second. To give them an opportunity to narrate a story. So we have a group of 3 kids from my 7th year Sam SV class. If you knew, we have been conducting this Sam SV. What does it mean? Sri Ahobila Mutt, Sri Vaishnavism class. It starts all the way from scratch. It starts with the details of who is Acharyan, who is Perumal, who is Tayar, and then it slightly goes into the philosophy, and it slightly goes into who are Alvars, who are our Acharyas, and who are, the Avatarams, the 45 Ayagiya singers, and what is the Sampradayam a little bit. And then it goes into the stories of the Ayagiya singer, it goes into the stories of the Alvars and Divyadeshams, and also our Acharya Parampara in particular. Every single Acharya, there is a small story. So everybody, it's like very, very light so that kids can learn about it. So based on that, we are in the 7th year right now, and we are going through Puranas, okay? And in that Puranas section, we decided that we will also have some stories that we will have every week for the kids that we have been going on for a while now. And for a change and to make it more fun, I have like 3 kids from my class, Surya, Varshini, and Vasumati. Okay, those are kind of the kids that have gone all 7 years, and I bet those guys are sharp as blade, very intelligent with all of these. Like many of you guys, they are also intelligent. So we're going to give them an opportunity to narrate a story here as a group. We want to keep this a repetitive event based on how the event goes today and how we are actually going to get feedback from this. We are planning to have this repeated every 6 to 8 weeks once. Okay, once in every 6 to 8 weeks. And feel free, Mami might have, Vimala Mami, Srimati Vimala Mami might have sent the information on the groups for the Sam SV narrators as well as the Sam SV group. So feel free to email Mami if you have, kids that are interested to join and narrate the story in the next session. As you know, this is once in 6 to 8 weeks, so the slots are limited, and the sessions are also limited because we'll still continue with the adult story narration while we will get this kid story narration every once in a while. So please email your details, child's name, age, topic of interest, and then we will try to see if we can get them into a single story, and then a group of minimum of 3 kids. We want to get along and then start the story. And I think it's going to be really interesting for the kids, and it's going to be interesting for us to hear them out, because you see them asking a lot of intriguing questions, very, very interesting questions, with the depth of understanding. It'll be a pleasure for us, to be honest, to hear from them. So to give them an opportunity is this noble gesture. So with that, let's get started with today's session. Today is also one of the very auspicious days, is the Avatar Dinam of Mukkur Aliye Singer. Okay, Avani Masam Hasta Nakshatram, Avani Hastam is the Avatar Dinam of Mukkur Aliye Singer. If you're looking at my screen now, you have the Rajagopuram and Ranganatha Perumal and the Mukkur Aliye Singer on the screen. That is the Ayashinger that was born this day on 1857. Okay, 1895, August 1895. Avani Masam Hasta Nakshatram is when this Mukkur Aliye Singer was born, and today happens to be his birthday, or Avatara Dinam. Okay, this Hasta Nakshatram is very famous for a number of reasons. It is also the day when the Sama Upakarma is celebrated today. Okay, today is also Sama Upakarma, and then Ayagiya Singer's Nakshatram. Can anybody say, this is going to be a tough question, but like I always say, feel free to give your answers as you feel. Which other Acharyas do you know that were born on the same Hasta Nakshatra? The clue is going to be this Acharya was very close to Swami Ramanujar. Kura Talwan was born on Tai Hastam. Okay, Kurat Talwan was born on Thai Hastam, and that's the day when the Anadhyanam and the Anadhyanam days kind of shift over. And then, there was a Perumal also that's born in Hasta Nakshatra. This has got to be really easy. That Divya Desam is very close to Chennai and is very close to the place where Swami Desikan was born.
Varadaraja Perumal.
Very good. But you also have to say what month that nakshatram was. So Chitre Hastam. Chitre Hastam is the day when Lord Varadaraja Perumal came out of the Vedakundam of Brahma when he was performing the Ashwamedha Yajna. Lord Varadaraja is supposed to have come up from the Yajna Murti, from the Yajna, Jwala. So that day is Chitre Hastam. Okay, so Chitre Hastam is Varadaraja Perumal's Avatara Dinam, Thai Hastam is Kurat Talwan, and Avani Hastam is none other than our 45th Aigya singer. If you see my screen in which I'm talking, this Aigya singer that is right here, right next to my head, in the background, that Aigya singer is the Mukkur Aigya singer. He's also projected on the slide. So one kind request I have is, kids, don't write on top of your screen, because if you write on top of your screen, everybody can see it, and it actually comes up obstructing the material that we are trying to show. So it'd be really nice. I know what you want to say. You guys are very expressive and creative. So we'd like to see you here talk and show all of these skills in the SAM SV story session. So save it for that, and please don't put it on the screen. Okay, and then we'll go to the story. Then what happens is, today is also Sama Upakarma, like I said. This Mukkur Aigya singer was born in August of 1895 in a place called Mukkur, and 42nd Aigya singer, Sri Ranga Shadagopatindra Mahadesikan, right? The 42nd year, he was also born in Mukkur. Okay, so this Mukkur, there were a Dampati called Upaya Vedantam Sri Rangacharya, and his Dharma Patni was called Sri Ranganayaki. And for this Dampati is where Mukkur Aigya singer was born. Mukkur Aigya singer's Purvashrama Tirunam, or before he took Sannyasa Ashramam, his name was Sri Rajagopalacharya, right? So Rajagopalacharya parents were Sri Rangacharya and Ranganayaki. See what the coincidence here is. His parents have the same name as that of the Sri Rangam Divya Dampatis, right? And then, he was a prolific scholar, like it always goes with really great people. He learned a lot of this Vedam, Shastram, Nyayam, Tarkam, Vyakaranam, and his proficiency in Sanskrit was exemplary. And he did all of that with almost like 5 acharyans, very similar to Swami Ramanujar. And then, he was a big scholar at a young age, and he got married at the age of 18. To Srimati Janakavalli, and then they started living their lives out. And one of his acharyas, Tilayambur Swami, was requested by the 40th Jiyar. Okay, 40th Jiyar of Ahobila Mutt requested to Tilayambur Swami to nominate very learned students into the Kainkaryam of Ahobila Mutt. See, if you see, Aigya singers always have 3 or 4 people to help them out, because Aigya singers as sannyasis, they cannot handle fire. They cannot handle fire, and they cannot interact with people very much as much as they wish to, because of their very strict achara anushtana protocols. So they do have people to help them out with a lot of kainkaryams, right? So for one such kainkaryam, Tilayambur Swami was requested by the 40th Jiyar, and then Tilayambur Swami with no doubt nominated Sri Rajagopalacharya. This is the Purvashrama Trinamam of the 44th Mukkur Aigya singer, right? So from that moment on, his connection with the Sri Matam Sannadhi Kainkaryam has been uninterrupted until the time he attained Acharya Tiruvadi as Aigya singer, 44th Jiyar. So from 40th Jiyar's time, he started serving Lakshmi Narasimha as well as the Acharyas in a very superlative way. Okay, and after the 40th Aigya singer, 41st Aigya singer, also 44th Jiyar was like Purvashramam was the go-to person for anything and everything that was required by the Aigya singers. A Mukkur Swami or Mukkur Sri Rajagopalacharya would have the answer, or he would be able to get it done. So that's how he was going, and the 42nd, 41st, 42nd, and the 43rd Jiyar, okay, were all extremely pleased with his Kainkaryam, and he was continuing his Kainkaryam when the 43rd Jiyar in Naimisharanyam had suddenly taken ill and had attained, Paramapadam or Acharya in Tiruvadi. Mukkur Azhigiya Singer was anointed as the next successor of the Ahobila Mutt. When did this happen? This happened in Hemalamba Varasham, 1957, sometime Kartigi Masam, which is around November time frame, and Shravana Nakshatra. Okay, on Shravana Nakshatram, Hemalamba Varasham, and Kartigi Masam, like November of 1957, he was anointed as the 44th Jiyar of the Ahobila Mutt. So then what happens? You have to notice, keep in mind the Shravana Nakshatram right now. I'll pick on this later. So keep in mind. So what happens is, he took the name of, what was the actual official Azhigiya Singer name of the 44th Jiyar? Can anybody say? This is an easy one. 44th Jiyar. What was he called as the official Azhigiya Singer name?
Vedanta Desika Maha.
Yes. Vedanta Desika. He was called as Vedanta Desika Yatindra
Mahadesika.
Okay? So it's a combination of two things. It's a combination of Vedanta Desikan and it's a combination of Yatindran also. Yatindran here refers to Swami Ramanujar himself. Okay? The reason why he took Vedanta Desika Yatindra Mahadeshikan is, of all the 44 Azhigiya singers until that point, none of the Azhigiya singers had Vedanta Desika's name, had taken the official Vedanta Desika's name. Right? We have Srinivasa Yatindra Mahadeshikan, Narayana Yatindra Mahadeshikan before, a lot of different names, but Vedanta Desika Yatindra nobody had taken. The reason was the Avatara Dinam of Avani Hastam of the Mukkur Azhigiya Singer was the day on which Ramanujaya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanathaaryam Vande Vedanta Desikam. So Vedanta Desika's Taniyan, can anybody say who wrote this Taniyan?
Is it Vedanta Desika?
Brahma, who was it? Brahma?
Brahmatantra Swatantra Jiyar.
Who said it?
Ramatan.
Who said the answer?
He composed it to Desikan.
Right. But who said Brahmatantra Swatantra? That was a great answer. Brahmatantra Swatantra composed this Ramanujaya Patram, and which day did he compose? Avani Hastam. That is the day in which this Azhigiya Singer was actually born. Okay? And that was one of the reasons why he took Vedanta Desika Yatindra Mahadeshikans, that particular name. Not just that one reason, there were many reasons why our 44th Azhigiya Singer was very much like Swami Deshikan. If you have to point out one reason, you could probably say Swami Deshikan did not take sannyasam, but the 44th Jiyar took sannyasam. Very much like Swami Deshikan lived for how many years?
101.
101.
Lived for 100 years.
102 years. 102.
Yes. And for Mukkur Azhigiya Singer lived for about almost 97. Okay. So very close to Swami Deshikan's life. Not just that, like Swami Deshikan, there was a poor brahmachari that went to Swami Deshikan and asked for money for his wedding. And then he took that brahmachari to Tayar Sanadi in Kanchipuram. And then there was, a golden shower. He did not pick even a single gold coin from that. He gave all those gold coins to that brahmachari. Very much like Swami Deshikan's Audaryam, our 44th Jiyar also was an extremely generous person. As a sannyasi, he didn't keep anything for himself. Like very much like Swami Deshikan, he gave everything away to others. And if anybody went to him for money or saying that they didn't have cash to perform their son or daughter's wedding, he would come forward and present them with the silver, with the silver, gold, the silk cloth for the girl, and the silk veshti for the boy, and also the Tirumangalyam for the Kalyanam, all under the expenses of the Srimatam. Nobody knows how he managed to get that amount of sponsorship or how he managed to get that amount of money, but never once anybody that went and asked that Azhigiya Singer went back disappointed. That much was his level of Audaryam. And then what happened is he also had great Acharya Bhakti, very much like Swami Deshikan. He also had great Acharya Bhakti because once he composed Injimade Azhigiya Singer Mangalam. that is a Mangala Shlokam on his Acharyan, and one of his Acharyans, that was the Injimate Aishingar, the 42nd year, he composed the Injimate Aishingar Mangalam. And then, like Swami Deshikan was responsible for bringing the, the Adhyayinotsavam back to Srirangam. This Aishingar was responsible for bringing back the glory of Ranganathar by building the Rajagopuram of Srirangam. Okay, this Swami Deshikan wrote something called as Paramapata Sopanam. Sopanam is nothing but a ladder, okay, or staircase. Staircase to go into Paramapadam is what is called as Paramapata Sopanam. It almost looks like when you stand at the bottom of the Gopuram, this Gopuram almost looks like an elevator to Sri Vaikuntham because it reaches high up into the sky. It is one of the tallest Gopurams in the world. Not just in India, not just in South Asia, but in the world, it's one of the tallest Gopurams. Okay, it almost looks like Swami Vedanta Deshika, Yatindra Mahadeshikan built an escalator or elevator into the sky, the staircase into the sky or into Sri Vaikuntham directly by looking at the huge structure. Also, the other thing is Srirangam is the biggest functioning temple in the whole world. Okay, there is a bigger functioning temple called bigger temple called Angkor Wat. That's somewhere in the Thailand area, but it's not functioning though. It's debilitated and it's no longer functional. But Srirangam is the biggest temple that is still functional. So there are a lot of firsts and a lot of great things about Srirangam. And then Swami Vedanta Deshika Yatindra Mahadeshikan goes over, like Swami Deshikan did a lot of Rahasya Granthams and simple Granthams. He also did like Daya Sagara Shatakam. He did Panchamrita Stotram, and then he did the Brahma Sutra Vivaranam. Very much like Swami Ramanujar did Brahma Sutram, which was the Bhashyam for, Sri Bhashyam, which is the Bhashyam for Brahma Sutram. Brahma Sutra Vivaranam is something that the 44th year did. And Tirupavai Subodhini is the other Grantham. Lakshmi Narasimha Mangalam, Lakshmi Narasimha Karavalamba Stotram, Dwadashanama Stotram, Karana Samparna Santanam, Injimade Azhigai Mangalam. These are the highlights of Mukkur Azhigai Singer's Rahasya Grantham as well as Sadasya Grantham, very much like Swami Deshikan. And Swami Deshikan, towards the end of his life, Swami Deshikan attained Acharyan Tiruvadi from very close to Tayar Samadhi. That's where Swami Deshikan's Tirumaligai was. Very much like Swami Deshikan, our Vedanta Deshika Yatindra Mahadeshikan also attained Acharyan Tiruvadi from Srirangam, not very far away. It was like a street or street and a half away from Swami Deshikan's Tirunakshatra. So if you see, except for the difference that our Swami Vedanta Deshika Mahadeshikan was a sannyasi, and Swami Deshikan was not a sannyasi until the last moment. Our Azhigai Singar is very much like Swami Deshikan. Okay, and that's a very good samyam that we can remember on this day. And in this auspicious day, there is also one last point I want to mention before I hand it over to the kids. Is in Deshika Mangalam there is a slokam that goes, Venkatesha avataroyam tadgantam sho atava bhavet, yatindram sho bhavet yevam vitarkyayastu mangalam. Okay, so our 45th Azhigai Singar has written Acharya Mangalam on the Mukkur Azhigai Singar, and he says, Sri Bhashyakaras tulyaya panchacharyanu punaf bhashya pracharartam avatirnai mangalam. In this slokam, he says, our 44th year is very similar to Ramanujar, where he also tried to propound on the Sri Bhashyam. Okay, once again, after Swami Ramanujar already did 1000 years ago, or about 900 years ago, because it would have been 900 years when Mukkur Azhigai was there, Mukkur Azhigai tried to propound on it again by doing the, Sri Bhashya Vivaranam or Brahma Sutra Vivaranam, right? And then he also had Panchacharyas like Swami Ramanuja, right? We'll go into slight detail later on who the Panchacharyas are in a pop quiz, but right now, let's just go through the story. So very similar to the Mangala Slokam of Swami Deshikan, this Azhigai Singar can also be said that Venkatesha avataroyam tadgantam sho atava bhavet yatindram sho bhavet yevam. He already has Yatindra in his name, Vedanta Deshika Yatindra, right? So he's very similar to Vedanta Deshika. He's very similar to Yatindra Ramanujar. And he was perceived as the avataram of Malolan himself. For the devotees, and for the people that were very humble and pious and true, he used to be the most generous Acharyan and the most, you could say the most positive adjectives. Very benevolent, with very good Vatsalyam. He took care of them. He gave them everything they wanted with the Acharya Anugraham. But people that were not so good or crossed with him, he was almost like Lord Lakshmi Narasimha for Hiranyakashipu, right? So everybody looked at him as an avataram of Malola himself. So you could say, Malola avataroyam, Vedanta Deshiko Atava Bhavet, Yatindramso Bhavet Yevam. You could tweak the same Deshika Mangalam to this Aige singer also, to say that he is an avataram of either the Amsam of Lakshmi Narasimha, or the Amsam of Vedanta Deshikar, or the Amsam of Swami Ramanujar, very much like Kumara Varadacharya mentioned, Mukkur Aige singer in the Desika Mangalam sloka. So with that, I'll wrap up the small introduction to Mukkur Aige singer, and we'll try to have a small pop-up quiz, not a lot, but kids seem to like a lot of good, interesting questions. So I'm going to have a pop-up quiz, and then I'll tell you what the topic of today's narration by the kids is going to be. Hold tight, hold your breath until then. And here goes. The first question for the quiz is, what are the different names of Swami Ramanuja?
Bhashyakara,
Ilayarvan.
Okay.
Yatindra,
Yatindra is more of an adjective.
Bhashyakara,
It's called Eti Rajar. Okay, I'll take it Eti Rajar. Somebody said Bhashyakara. And what else?
Udayavan.
Yembirmanar,
Okay, Embirmanar. Okay.
Ilayarvan.
Lakshmana Muni,
Okay. So now I'm going to ask, who gave the name Eti Rajar to Ramanuja?
Kanjivaradan.
Kanchivadan. Who said that?
Me, Aparajitan.
Aparajitan? Wonderful Aparajitan. Were you not the same kid that asked the question about Nagapasa Vimochanam?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. We'll cover that towards the end of the class, but that was a great question. Very nice, Aparajitan. Yatirajar was given by Kanchi Perurulalan or Varadarajan, who was also born on Hasta Nakshatram. And who was the name Udayavar given by?
Sri Ranganathan.
Ranganathan,
Aparajitan again. Okay.
Ranganathan.
Okay. Who gave Sri Bhashyakara?
Saraswati.
Okay. When was it given?
When when Ramanuja represented the Sri Bhashyam to Saraswati, Saraswati put the Sri Bhashyam on her head and gave it the name Sri Bhashyam and blessed him.
Vaibhav, you rock, man. And then Tiruppavi Jiyar was a name that everybody missed. Who gave the name Tiruppavi Jiyar?
Periyanambi, when he was saying Tirupavi, and
Okay.
Periyanambi's wife was just opened the door when he was saying Undu Mada Galitran Voda Tolvalian, and he thought that Periyanambi's wife was herself Nepine, so he saved Periyanambi's wife, and so Periyanambi gave him the name Tirupavi.
Wonderful. Undumadagalitan, by the way, was the favorite pasuram of Swami Ramanuja. That's the favorite pasuram Ramanuja had. I might ask this question later, but keep that in mind.
I have a question.
Who is that?
Arya.
Oh, Arya, go ahead.
My question is, whoever wrote Tirupavi, is it Avandal?
Yes. And one thing I'll tell you also, if you guys have any questions, you can ask me whenever you want. You can stop me. But when the kids are narrating the story, if you can hold on to your question, like, I know it's tough to hold on to a question for about 45 minutes, but if you do hold on to it, we will take questions at the end of the session. Okay. Do not interrupt the story sessions by the kids. When I'm narrating or when other adults are narrating, you can always feel free to interrupt them in between with questions. But when the kids are going on, I'd suggest you please make a note. And okay, let's get back to the question. Emberimanar, who gave that name?
Tirukoshiyur Nambi.
Whoa, nice. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next question. What are the three different murtis of Swami Ramanuja that are very famous?
Tanugandha Tirumeni.
In terms of Vigraham.
Tanugandha Tirumeni, Tamarugandha Tirumeni, and I don't know the other one.
Tana Tirumeni.
And Tanana Tirumeni, yeah.
Very, very nice. Okay, what about the other guys? I see Aparajitan acing this and Vaibhav equally acing it. How about Sudarshan, Vedant, Srihari, Samvrit, Kalpana, Harivats? All of these guys generally are very good. Are the questions too tough? Guys, you need to speak up, man. Let me know if the questions are tough, okay? I'll water it down. So, Tanugandha Tirumeni, Tamarugandha Tirumeni, and Tanana Tirumeni.
Questions were kind of tough.
It is the kind of tough, okay. Okay, so Tanugandha Tirumeni, I'll give you an option. Is it in Sriperumbudur, Tirunarayanapuram, or Srirangam?
Anuganda Tirumeni is Tirunarayanapuram. No. Sri Perumbudur.
Who was that?
Me.
Me as in Vaibhav?
Yeah.
Okay. Tamaruganda Tirumeni
Is Melkote. Tirunarayanapuram.
Tanana Tirumeni is obviously
Srirangam.
Srirangam. Yeah. So Ramanujar's Tirumeni itself, his mortal remains, is installed within the campus, temple campus, and that's Tanana Tirumeni. Tamaruganda Tirumeni is when. What is that?
What in Tanana Tirumeni, is it actually Ramanuja's remains or is it where Ramanuja exactly was? The Sunday.
It is debatable if you ask me that question, but it is considered to be Ramanuja's Tirumeni himself.
Okay.
Okay. And then Tamaruganda Tirumeni is Melkote, where Ramanuja is supposed to have hugged that Tirumeni and said that it is very similar to how Swami looks. So that is Tamaruganda Tirumeni, like he appreciated it. And then Tanuganda Tirumeni is Sri Perumbudur when they were performing the Prana Pratishtai. Swami was actually offering discourse at a different place, and he went into meditation. Closed his eyes, went into meditation. Everybody asked, like, what's going on? They said, in Sri Perumbudur, they are installing my Vigraham, and they are putting Pranan into it, meaning they are transferring my powers into the Vigraham. So he realizes that was going on at that time, and he kept his meditation in order to ensure that all of his powers were transferred to Sri Perumbudur. So what's the specialty of Sri Perumbudur with Ramanuja?
It was
his birthplace.
Very nice, very nice, very nice, wonderful. So I don't want to take too much time off. So the topic, if you guys are going to be really interested in what's going on today, is going to be on Panguni Uthiram. Okay, we have split it into 3 parts, 3 sections. First section will be dealt by Surya Dinesh. He is from Texas, and he's also in the 7th year class for Assam SV. He's a very, very proficient kid with particularly the Rahasya Granthams, Brahma Sutram, and a lot of other philosophical intricate details he's really good at. He's also good at everything else, but these he's especially good on. Okay, and then the second part is about Sri Rangam. Surya is going to be talking about Swami Ramanujar, and Varshini Arun is also from Texas, I believe. She's very good with Bhagavad Gita, all the stotrams. She has very good narration, and her narrating skills are exemplary with her knowledge also. So she's going to be talking about Sri Rangam, and obviously next is Vasumati. Vasumati Rajaji is from Alpharetta, Atlanta, and she is also very proficient with debates, narration, and a lot of knowledge about our Sampradayam. She actually won a gold medal for talking about a certain topic on Visishtadvaitam recently on Ramanujar's 1002 Tirunakshatram. Okay, so gold medalist, look out for her too. She's going to bring the story together and talk about the importance of Sharanagati, Prapatti with Ramanujar and Sri Rangam at the occasion of Panguni Uthiram. Okay, with that introduction, I'm going to hand it over to Surya, who will take over from here. I'll be just running the screens. Like I said, kids, if you have questions, raise your hand and note down your questions. Please don't interrupt. Let them go through their flow, and we'll have a time slot when we'll be asking questions also, and also answering your questions. Okay. And like I said, again, if you are interested to do it yourself like this, like Surya, Varshini, and Vasumati, please reach out to Vimala Mami at that email address that was mentioned in the group, and give your details, and we'll definitely find a way to get you in one of these sessions. Okay. Thank you very much for your patience. Now let's go into the presentation part.
Okay, thank you. Bhavitinam urdva pundaravantam jajagat punyapalam turdandahastam sharanagata sartavaha mide shakaya sekarinam pitim pitinam. That was the 11th shlokam of Yatiraja Samti by Swami Desikan on Ramanujar. Ramanujar was a very great acharya. He was very intelligent and devoted to Perumal all of his life. He was blessed by Perumal even when he was young. Once he was lost in a forest, and he met a hunter and his wife. And that hunter and his wife guided him out of the forest. That hunter turned out to be Perumal. Can anybody tell me when this was, just for bonus points?
Yadava Prakasha
After Yadava Prakasha and his disciples.
Yadava Prakasha planned to kill
Ramanuja and push him in Ganga.
And
Yeah,
so
very good.
Yambar told Ramanujar to go and escape in the middle, and so God secretly knew that Ramanujar wasn't lost, wasn't like wasn't lost because he knew that Perumal would help him, and so Perumal came. It was Kanchi Varadar who helped him, and Kanchi Varadar asked, and Perendevi Taya, they were thirsty, so they asked for some water, and Ramanujar went and got it and came back and found that the hunter and the huntress weren't there, and then he realized it was Perumal himself, and Taya.
He woke up under the Punya Kuriva
Very
Mala.
nice.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Let me tell you a few more stories about how Ramanujar was very great. So once he was in Tondavur, in that city was full of Jains, and so he wanted to convert all those Jains, so he asked for a big screen. The Jains had a lot of questions, and so Ramanuja said he would answer all of those questions at once. So he sat on one side of the screen, and then the people sat on the other side. And so the people asked their questions, and Ramanuja answered them. But whenever somebody would look past the screen, they would see Adiseshan, the thousand-headed serpent, answering the questions. So another time, he was summoned to banish a Brahma Rakshas. Many other Brahmins had tried to banish that said Brahma Rakshas, and so they had failed, but Ramanuja was able to do that because he was blessed by Perumal. So a third instance in which Ramanuja showed greatness and closeness to Perumal. So there was an Advaita sannyasi called Yagnamurti. He was very good at debate and very intelligent, and he challenged Ramanuja to a debate. And that debate went on for 17 days. But Yagnamurti, he made a very good point on the last day of the debate. And so Ramanuja thought that he wouldn't be able to counter that point. So Ramanuja meditated on Perumal, who came in his dream and told him to read Alamandar's treatise on debate that was called Mayavadam. And Ramanuja took this advice and used the technique to win. Now, Alavandar was a great acharya who preceded Ramanuja. And so Alavandar, he wanted to meet Ramanuja, but sadly, Alavandar died while Ramanuja was on his way to meet him. And Ramanuja had to go pay his respects. But when Ramanuja saw Alvandar's body, he saw that Alvandar had 3 fingers folded on his right hand. And Ramanuja realized that those 3 fingers represented 3 promises that he had to fulfill. And so those promises were to write a commentary on the Brahma Sutras, to glorify the names of Parasara and Vyasa, and to write a commentary on Durvaimuri. And so when he promised those things, Alvandar's fingers miraculously unfolded, and Alvandar's soul went to Sri Vaikuntham. Now, on the first promise to write a commentary on the Brahma Sutras, so the Brahma Sutras explain the Vedas, and they were written by Veda Vyasa. And so Ramanuja wrote the work with help from his disciple Kurutalvan and several manuscripts, which he had to go to great lengths to get. It was a great work and took a very, very long time to write. And he called it Bhashya. And when Ramanuja went to Kashmir to present it to Saraswati Devi, she gave it the name Sri Bhashya. Then Ramanuja was called Sri Bhashyakara, literally one who wrote Sri Bhashya. This was the greatest of his works of literature. Ramanuja performed an even greater act, and that has to do with the process of Sharanagati, which is the method of total surrender to Perumal and the way to attain moksha. Before him, it was a secret and very few people knew about it. But Ramanuja, he made it available for all people to perform and achieve moksha by his performance of Sharanagati. in how he showed it to everybody. He performed this act at Srirangam, and he was very close to Srirangam and Ranganatha Perumal. He took care of the temple for a very long time, and he also compiled Kovil Murugai, which details all of the utsavams for Ranganatha Perumal. His remains are even there today in a Sannidhi. And now Varshini will tell you a little bit more about Srirangam and Ranganatha Perumal.
Great job, Surya. Great job, Surya. Guys, have any questions right now, or do you want to hold towards the end? Okay. Did Keshav have a question?
No, I don't have a question.
Okay. Raman, do you have a question? Okay. Let's hand over to Varshini. She's going to talk about Srirangam and how Ramanujar Srirangam are related, and greatness of Srirangam and number one. So over to Varshini.
Thank you. Saptaprakara madhye sarasija mukulodbhasamane vimane kaveri madhyadeshe.
Kana, can you come close to the mic, Ma? We are having a hard time hearing you.
Saptaprakara madhye sarasija mukulodbhasamane vimane Kaveri Madhyadeshe Mridutara Paniradhoga Paryanka Bhage Nidra Mudrabhiramam Katina Katashiraha Parshvavinyasta Hastam Padma Ghatri Karabhyam Parichita Charanam Rangarajam Bhajeham. This is just how the Bhuloka Vaikuntham is architected. Srirangam is that beautiful Vidya Desam where the Supreme Lord is so blissful in his sleep of superconscience, the Yoga Nidra, on the mighty Adi Seshan, under the Pranavakara Vimanam, with his lotus-like right hand near his crown, and his left hand pointing towards his feet for Sharanagati.
Kana, sorry to interrupt you again. Please come close. You're doing a great job, but we are hardly able to hear what you're saying.
He is surrounded by 7 prakarams. Is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
He is surrounded by 7
if you slide back onto your chair, then it becomes difficult for the mic to pick up. So if you lean a little forward, closer to the mic, I think it'll be really nice. Okay, go ahead.
He is surrounded by 7 prakaram, representing the 7 lokas. Rivers Kaveri and Kollidam surround, carving it as a beautiful island. The majestic Rajagopuram, as it stands today, was the vision of His Holiness, the 44th Pontiff, Sri Mukkur Azhagiya Singar. The old Mottai Gopuram was a major eyesore for the Azhagiya Singar. He believed that the supreme power in the universe, who is venerated by 11 of 12 Arvas, should have a flawless temple tower. Mukkur Swamin was approaching 90 years of age when he took up this ardent task. It was only the iron-clad willpower and the divine directions and blessings that he worked with, an edifice that daunted kings and emperors was finally complete. But how did Ranganatha come to Srirangam? The Sriranga Mahatmyam states, the Ranga Vimanam, which is as sacred as Perumal himself, appeared out of the sea and commanded Brahma to worship it, to understand the Vedas. Then from Brahma and Brahmalokam, it went to Surya Deva in Suryalokam. And through King Ikshvaku of the Surya Vamsa, it landed in Ayodhya, where it was worshipped by Ramar. During his Pattabhishekam, Ramar gifted this Vimanam to Vibhishana with the condition that it would stay right at the place where it first touches ground. And Srirangam it was, where the idol chose to stay, with the promise to face south to bless Vibhishana's kingdom in Sri Lanka. The beauty of this Divya Desam is such that in Tirumalai, Tondaradipodi Alvar says, Ichuvai Tavirayan poi Indiralogamalum Achuvai Perinum Den and denies moksham to stay with the Srirangam Perumal forever. Srirangam is also home to Ramanujar's Tanana Tirumeni. And how Udayavar came to Srirangam is nothing short of a divine drama. After Ramanujar attained Sannyashramam, Periya Perumal of Srirangam sends a request to Deva Perumal of Kanchipuram to send Ramanujar to him. to firmly establish the Sampradayam. But Deva Perumal blatantly refuses, stating Ramanujar is too close to his heart. Periya Perumal feels disappointed again. The first time being when Ramanujar learns he could not meet his Acharyan Alavandar in person while he was alive. He gets so upset and returns back to Kanchipuram without seeing Periya Perumal. And now, with Deva Perumal's refusal, Periya Perumal gets so desperate and devises a plan to bring Ramanujar. He knows Deva Perumal likes stotram and music, and once he is pleased, he would do anything. He deputes Tiruvaranga Perumal Arayar to do Arayar Seva in front of him, make him happy, and then, with his blessings, bring Ramanuja to Srirangam. The beloved Arayar, who is glorified by Alavandar himself, flawlessly executes the plan, and Ramanuja comes to Srirangam. Alavandar instructs 5 of his main Sishyas to teach 5 different aspects to Ramanuja. Periya Nambi performs Pancha Samskaram, Periya Tirumalai Nambi teaches Sri Ramayanam, Tirukkoshtiyor Nambi teaches Tirumantram and Charamashlokam meaning, Tirumalai Andan teaches Tiruvaimoli, Tiruvaranga Perumal Arayar teaches some parts of Arulichayal and Charamopayam. Ramanuja's love for Perumal was so great that once, when he was walking back after his Anushtanam, a group of boys had made a sculpture of Perumal out of sand. He stopped and prayed to it and took the sand as prasadam, signifying his devotion and concern for mankind. Ramanuja's influence can be seen everywhere in Srirangam. To name a few, he established the Kovil Olungu, which governs the daily activities of the temple. He revived and re-established the famous Srirangam festival calendar. He used to personally supervise the prasada kramams to ensure proper quality and that niyamams are adopted. He streamlined the Kovil organization and administration. He was so very thorough in his management that he also had to face negative confrontations. Tiruvarangat Amudanar episode is one such. Amudanar was in charge of accounts at the temple and disliked Ramanuja's interference very much. He caused innumerous troubles to the revered Acharya and has even gone to the extent of harming him, only to realize his mistake when Kuritarvar explains to him. He then wholeheartedly surrenders to Ramanuja and composes the Ramanuja Nutrandadi. Ramanuja spends more than half his life in Srirangam doing Kainkaryam to the Lord in our Sampradayam. He was instrumental in building the city around the temple with its Uttirai and Chittirai Veedis. This redesign brought Perumal even more closer and more approachable to Bhagavatas. Pleased by all his services, Nam Perumal himself confers the title of Udayavar on Ramanuja, meaning owner of the 2 worlds. How our beloved Udayavar did Sharanagati is another beautiful episode. Let's listen to Vasumati on this.
Wonderful, Varshini. Again, guys, if you have any questions, hold on to them. We can address that towards the end. And Vasumati is going to connect how Ramanujar and Srirangam are related to Panguni, Uthiram, and Namperumal, and take it on from there. Over to you.
Yonityamachyutabadam bhujayukma rukma vyamohatastadittarani trinayamene asmat guror bhagavatosya dayaika sindhoho Ramanujasya sharanam prapadye. So Panguni Uthiram is an important and very auspicious day. It is observed in the month of Panguni when the nakshatram or star Uthiram starts. And why it's very important, one of the reasons is it's Dayar Ranganayaki Sthirinakshatram. And this day is celebrated in a grand scale in Sriranga Kovil. So once a year on Panguni Uthiram, Divya Dampadigal, the divine couple, Lord Ranganatha and Daya Ranganayaki, come together for a day. The day falls sometime in the months of March and April. The Divya Dampati's darshan on this day is called Serti Seve. In Tamil, Serti means alongside or together, and Seve means darshan. So the Panguni Uthiram Utsavam takes place on the 9th day of Sriranga Kovil's Brahmotsavam. So before we talk about Panguni Uthiram, we have to talk about Pranaya Galakam. So can anybody tell me what Pranaya Galakam is? Okay.
It's when like Perumal and Ramanujar they got mad at each other like for a relay.
Yeah.
And then when they come back together, they're really happy.
Yeah, okay. And I have another question for you guys. Who's Kamalavalli Nachar? Because Kamalavalli Nachar also plays a pretty big role in this story.
Kamalavalli Nachiyar is this one king had Kamalavalli Nachiyar marry Ranganadhar, and I think one day Ranganadhar went to Kamalavalli Nachiyar and Ranganaki Tayar got mad at him, and that's when they fight.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So Urayur temple is built in the memory of goddess Kamalavalli's love for Lord Ranganatha. The story is that the Chora king, Nanda Choran, was childless, and he prayed to Perumal asking for a child. Really happy with his prayers, Lord Ranganatha asks Lakshmi to be born as the king's daughter at Urayur. She was born from a lotus, and so that's why she's called Kamalavalli. Kamala means lotus. She grew up and fell in love with the Sri Ranganatha of Srirangam and married him. Every year on this day, Perumal visits Kamalavalli Nachar in Urayur. Sri Ranganatha and Kamalavalli Nachar give Serthi Seve in Urayur on this day for all of those people in Urayur. So as the story goes, Ranganayaki Tayar hears about what happened, and she gets very upset with Perumal. And when Namperumal pleads his innocence and tries to please Tayar, Ranganayaki Tayar rejected him. The conversations are communicated through an Arayar, Swami for Namperumal, and a Pandari Swami. And they never face each other during this Kalakam Utsavam. When nothing worked out, Nammarvar came in the picture. Nammarvar advises the goddess not to be upset with Namperumal anymore. They have to be together to protect the world. After this intense debate, Ranganayaki Tayar finally relents. With the debate ending successfully, the Lord enters the Sannadhi of Ranganayaki Tayar. They go to the Serthi Mandapam and are seen together for the rest of the day and the night. So, Ramanujar and Panguni Uthiram. So let's talk a little bit about that. Ramanujar visited Srirangam on Panguni Uthiram day. He was very happy to have the darshan of both Perumal and Tayar together. He decided this was a very good moment for him to perform his Sharanagati. He does Sharanagati, which is like really obvious in his Sharanagati Gatyam. And Sharanagati Gatyam actually is kind of like a dialogue between Ramanujan, Tayar, and Perumal. And this particular Serthi Seve is very special because after the Pranaya Kalakam, Perumal wants to pacify Tayar. And he cannot deny Tayar's recommendation about the Jivatma and has to grant Tayar's wish. First, Ramanujar begs Tayar for her recommendation. Tayar says in Tamil, Appadiye Agattum, and in Sanskrit that is said as Astute Tayeva Sarvam Sampatsyate. Then with her recommendation, he performs Sharanagati to Perumal, and then what he says in his Sharanagati Gatyam, as we've talked about in a lot of our story sessions, you know, our Charama Shlokams, Ramanujar, when he's doing his Sharanagati to Perumal, he's actually kind of bringing up to Perumal that you have made this promise and now I'm coming to ask you for it. He does Sharanagati to Perumal by saying, Ananya Sharanaha Tvat Padaravinda Yugalam Sharanam Aham Prapadye. Here, the Dvaya Mantram is uttered as the Sharanagati Mantram. So he actually kind of lays out the procedure for others to follow in doing Sharanagati in Sharanagati Gadyam. And so he actually does Sharanagati with the 5 angas, okay? The 5 angas are Anakulya Sankalpam, which means you like make a determination to do only what pleases Perumal, not anything else. Pratikulya Varjanam, to refrain from doing anything that Perumal does not like. Karpanyam, like the feeling of humility arising, like you are kind of like saying, I don't have anybody else to help me. You're the only one that can help me. And then Mahavishwasam, absolute unshakable faith on Perumal. You know that he's the sole protector. And Goptritva Varnam, you're kind of making the request to the Lord, kind of seeking his protection. And he also kind of did Atma Nikshepanam, which is he entrusted the well, not burden, but like the responsibility to Perumal, that he's the only one that can take care of Ramanujan. And in a Churnike, starting with Yevam Bhuta Matkainkarya Prapti Upayataya Avaklipta Samastavastu Vihinopi. Perumal is accepting Ramanuja's Sharanagati. And after saying Sharanagati Gadyam, Ramanuja also composed 2 other Gadyams. Sriranga Gadyam, all about Srirangam and Emberuman, and Sri Vaikunta Gadyam, which is all about how Perumal is in Vaikuntam. And why Ramanuja and Panguni Uthiram is really important to us. So actually on this Panguni Uthiram day, he showed that by doing Sharanagati to Perumal and Tayar, the only way you can attain moksham. No other way. He also showed that Sriman Narayana is the only supreme being who can give moksham. Nobody else can. Sharanagati is also kind of the easiest way to attain moksham. Because in this day and age, there's also Bhakti Yogam, and in this day and age, that's not really possible, because if you're going to do Bhakti Yogam, you have to do it for thousands of years on end, and that's not really possible here. And also, really, when we do Sharanagati, we kind of also get a hope. And also, Sharanagati can be done by anybody. Even the people who do the most sins can even do Sharanagati. Actually, in Sharanagati Gadyam, Ramanuja lists like so many different papams that he has done. Well, knowing Ramanuja, he would have not done any of them. But he was kind of saying all of those papams to show us that even the people who do the most sins can even do Sharanagati and attain moksham. And he not only just kind of preached it or said it to us, he performed it himself and showed the importance of it. He also, another thing he showed, even animals can do Sharanagati. Animals, birds, anybody, anything can do Sharanagati as well. And he kind of also, like I said before, he showed that when you do Sharanagati, you get a hope. Like you get a hope saying, you know, okay, I can leave this samsaram soon. And the hope for for the people who done the most sins, they even get the hope. Oh, I can also go to moksham as well. So that they get that hope, and people would live the rest of their lives happy. So that's why Ramanuja and Panguni Uthiram is really, really important to us.
Very, very nice. Very nice. Vasumati and Varshini and Surya. So now Surya, Varshini and Vasumati have some questions based on the excellent narration that all 3 of them did. To be honest, there were a lot of information that I learned from them today. Okay, we just give them tips to prepare, but it was Surya's narration about Swami Ramanujar and Varshini's excellent narration about Srirangam, and obviously Vasumati bringing it all together. It was, fantastic to be honest. This is really good, really good. So Surya, a few questions from your topic. just for the kids to have some more fun.
Okay, so let me see here. So the third promise that Swami Ramanujar made to Alvandar was to write a commentary on Dirvaimuri by Namalvar. Can anybody tell me who wrote that commentary?
Oh, good one. Nice one. So yeah.
Tirukkurugai Piran Pillan.
Yeah, very good.
Very good. Aparajitan, is that Aparajitan?
Yes.
Okay. So I'd like the other kids also to tune in. It's okay if it's wrong, just try. Okay, the whole fun is in trying and finding it out. So, you know, Vedant, Srimayi, Vasudha, Harivats, Samvrit, the Varacharma Shlokam kid, and a lot of other kids, you know, Raman. You guys should also try. Okay, just try. It's okay if it's wrong. It's totally fine if it's wrong. Go for it. Okay, Surya.
Okay, so I referenced that Ramanujar, he went to get several commentaries on the Brahma Sutra. Can anybody tell me which commentary in Kashmir that he went to the most trouble to get?
Bodhanavritti.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh,
Very good.
wow. Okay.
I think that's about it.
Okay, Varshini, you have any questions? Thanks, Surya. It was very nice narration and also great questions, very insightful questions. So good job. Over to Varshini. You have a few questions. Kids are getting ready.
Okay. So what was the condition that Rama laid out to Vibhishana when he gifted the Vimanam?
Raghunatha will face south and he's blessing Vibhishana.
Come close to the mic, Kana. It's tough for me to hear.
Was it that
I mean,
Raghunatha?
Varshini. Vaibhav is quite audible. Varshini.
Yeah, you're really close, but there was one more condition that he laid out.
If he lays it down, he cannot move it again.
Yes.
Who was that?
The condition.
Keshav.
Oh, nice.
Nice. The condition was that it would stay right at the place where it first touches ground and it should not move.
Wonderful.
Okay, another question. Why did Tondaradi Pudiyarva deny moksha? Why did Tondaradi Pudiyarva deny moksha to Perumal, from Perumal?
He wanted to do Kaingaryam.
Yes, that's correct.
And who was that? Who answered?
Nanda Gopal and Niyata. Me and Nandu.
Okay. What's the Sriman? Is Sriman on? I'm not hearing from him at all. Bhargavan, Sriman. Okay. Next question, Varshini.
Okay, who are two people that merged with the Lord in Srirangam?
Pibinachar, Turkanachar.
Both are the same one, but you got two main Alvas.
Andal and Tirpan Avar.
Good job. Yeah, that's
Who was that?
Keshav.
Nice. Nicely said.
That's about it that I have.
It's really tough to ask questions for sharp kids like you, Ma, to be honest. Let me pull up and see. I at least want to ask one tough question, okay? Because you guys are acing it hands down, particularly Vaibhav, Keshav, Samvrit, Aparajitan, and everybody. So let me ask you, who are the parents of Ramanujar?
Bhumi Pirati and Keshava Somayaji.
Okay, Gandhimati and Keshava Swamiyaji, that's right, Asuri Keshava Swamiyaji. And what was Kantimati's relation to another Acharya of Ramanujar?
Kantimati's brother is Periyanambi.
Periyanambi?
Periya Tirumalai Nambi, sorry.
There we go, Periya Tirumalai Nambi. There's a difference between Periyanambi and Periya Tirumalai Nambi. Okay.
And like it was hard to remember Tiruvaranga Perumal Arayar and Tiruvaranga Thammudanar. Something like that.
Yes. And what did Periya Thirumalai Nambi teach Ramanujan?
Ramayanam.
There you go, bang. But is it like, doesn't Ramanujar know Ramayanam? Why does he have to hear it from Periya Thirumalai Nambi again? Like everybody knew Ramayanam, even when they were like, you guys like kids.
Was it because he took another avataram, so he had to like relearn it?
No, the thing is, even if you know the stories yourself, you have to understand it the way our acharyas have understood it before. There lies the key to be following the dharmas and satyas and how acharyas have interpreted. Because whatever Perumal says, to be honest, is very confusing. It's very difficult for us to follow what Perumal says. Only when you hear it from our acharyas, from our sampradayam, you can understand it clearly and you will be able to follow it actually. Because our acharyas have lived those, advices from Perumal. So it is very important to hear it from our acharyas, and that's the reason why Ramanuja repeated it with Periya Thirumalai Nambi, not because he didn't know it. Okay, over to Vasumati. Vasumati, I'm really inquisitive about questions that you have. I request you to raise the notch up because these guys are acing it hands down. So make it as tough as possible. Let's see if they can get it. I think they will, but raise it up.
I'm going to first start off with an easy one. And
Okay.
I purposely didn't mention this because I wanted to ask this question. Why did Ramanuja choose to do it to Yemberuman? He could have done it to Vardarajar as well. He was very close to Vardaraja Perumal. Why did he choose to do it to Yemberuman?
Emberuman is the first Dividesam.
No.
Yemberuman took an avataram and he got Ramanujan gave Thiruvan Chichannu to that person and he called him Vaishnava Nambi.
That's Tirukaraguri, right?
Yeah, that's Tirukurumbudi.
And then when he went to Srirangam that day or the next day, he went and then he saw that same Thiruvan that he gave. And so
Wasn't that
was Perumal himself that he that came to him.
No,
And
Namberumal doesn't wear
that
Thiruman at all. He
Tirukaraguri?
wears only Kasturi Tilakam.
no, that
Srirangam is Bulokam?
I mean,
Good try.
those are all good answers, but no. He goes to Ranganadhar because he was the Perumal who Perumal had done Aradhanam to. If you remember from what Varshini said, you remember Ramar gave this Vigraham to Vibhishanan and set out the rule. Ramar did Aradhanam to this Perumal before he gave it to Vibhishanan. So that's why Ramanujan wanted to do it to Yemberuman.
Perumal did it? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Another question is, I did mention that kind of Ramanujan brought up the Charma Shlokams in his Sharanagati Gadyam. Do you guys know what the Charma Shlokams are? Like the name?
Dharma Shlokam is when
Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Charanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarvapapebhyo Mokshayishyami Mastaha.
Okay, that's one.
Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyo Tatam Yetat Vratam Mama.
You have to say the whole thing. Vasmati, you can prompt. You can give them clues and draw it out.
This one also kind of starts with a sa related, like Sarvadharman. This also kind of starts with a sa in Sanskrit. Okay.
Can you say the first word, please?
Sakrit.
Sakrit.
I think you went into mute. You were going to say something, but you went into mute. Parajitan. Sakriteva Prapannaya.
Sakriteva Prapannaya Tavasmiti Dhyachate Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyo Tatam Yetat Mama Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Charanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarvapapebhyo Mokshayishyami Mastaha.
Okay, those. Wow, that's two. There's one more.
What?
Yeah, there's one more.
There is one more. Actually, you guys said that during one of the previous classes during it.
Varaha Charma Shlokam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know it? Okay, it's stithe manasi susvaste sharire satiyo naraha dhatu samye stithe smarta vishwarupam cha mamajam tatastam riyamanam tu kashta pashana sannibham aham smarami madbhaktam nayami paramam gatim. So that's Varaha Charma Shlokam. And I guess another question is, what do you guys know the Sanskrit words of what Perumal said to Ramanujar when he accepts the Sharanagati? Do you guys remember that?
Astute tayeva sarvam sambhatyate.
That was Taya, very, very close, but it was. Did you guys know?
Raman, you can try, ma.
Okay. It's Ananya Sharanaha Tvat Padaravinda Yugalam Sharanam Aham Prapadye. Which kind of Sharanam Aham Prapadye just kind of means I surrender to you, kind of. And then this is not about Ramanujar or this is not about Panguni Uthiram, but do you guys know who wrote Yo Nityam Achyuta Badambujayatma Rukma? Ramanujar's son, one of Ramanujar's Tanyans. A clue is he was also born on this day, on this nakshatra.
Yes, we spoke about him in the beginning of the class too. Nice questions, Vasumati.
Puratarvan?
Yeah.
Brahma Swatandra Jir.
No, not Brahma Swatantra Ji.
Puratarvan?
Yeah.
Who said Kuratarvan?
Me.
Me as in?
Yeah. Vaibhav?
Oh, Vaibhav.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Fantastic, guys. This was very exciting. I didn't realize we were like 11 minutes past.
I have one more question.
Yes.
Okay. So, how many times did Ramanujar go to Tirukoshtiud Nandi to learn the Tirumantram and Charma Shlokam?
18.
Okay. And who were the 5 Sishyas who taught the 5 different aspects to Ramanujar?
Tirumalai Annan, Periya Tirumalai Nambi, Periya Nambi, Tirukoshtiur Nambi, and Tiruvaranga Perumalar.
That's all.
You guys like ace it like nobody's business. So let's turn it over to the kids. Like, did you have? Yeah, go ahead, Surya.
I had one last question.
Yes,
So
make it really hard. Okay, these guys are like extremely good.
Ramanujar was said to be the avatar of somebody in Kali Yugam. Can anybody tell me who it is?
Adiseshan.
Adiseshan.
In
Yes.
Kali Yugam?
In Kali.
Yeah, and he's also an amsam of one more.
Panchayutam.
No, his name, one of his names goes as Lakshmana Muni.
Isn't Lakshmana also Adiseshan?
Yeah, but you know,
Yeah.
those are two different entities in your Puranas, right?
A better clue would be Ramanujan, if you know the meaning of that.
Rama's Anuja.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
there was
yes.
also one more avatar of Adiseshan.
Right.
Wait.
Kali Yuga?
No, not in Kali Yugam.
Dwapara Yuga. Balarama.
Yeah.
Dwapara Yuga. Balarama was
Yeah.
Adiseshan.
Balaram.
Nice, nice, nice. So let's ask. Like, I know you might have had questions when Surya, Varshini, Vasumati, or even for that matter when I was talking. Do you guys want to ask any questions to us? Turn it over to the kids. I know Arya found it slightly tough. Was it okay as it went through, Arya Kana?
Yes.
Okay. Were you able to follow? We don't want this to be like, you know, super high level for everybody. I know there will be kids that find it slightly tough too. So we want everybody to understand and enjoy. Was it okay for you, Kana? Did you have any questions, Arya?
Not really, no.
Okay. But you did understand, right? Okay, that's very good. Feel free to ask any questions, Mutt. Okay. Any question is fine.
I've
On the
heard that Ramanuja was the one who did the Paranyasam for Ranganadhar and Ranganaki Tayar. Was that the day on Panguni Uthiram?
Yeah, he did Paranyasam to Ranganadhar and Ranganaki Tayar.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what Vasumati was talking all about.
Okay.
That's on Panguni Uthiram. Good. Anything else? Sashwat, Samrit, Shreyas, Sriman, Srimayi.
Nothing.
Okay. Then I'm going to assume that you guys completely know everything
I just
about
have
what-
one quick question.
It's my first class, so I don't know anything.
It's okay. You could still
I
ask
have a question
your
for.
first class. You could still ask anything you want, Sashwat.
I have a question real quick.
Yes. Who's
This
that?
was for what Varshini said. Basically, you said that there were 7 prakarams, right? And you said that represents the 7 lokams. Basically, I haven't really researched this, but are the names of each prakaram do they have to do with the lokams' names?
Varshini, you want to take that one or?
I'm not sure. I can get back to you.
Yeah. So the thing is, Sapta Prakara Madhye is supposed to be, Sri Vaikuntham is supposed to be constructed very, very much like Sri Vaikuntham. Ranganatha Perumal is supposed to represent Sri Vaikuntanathan, and Sri Rangam itself as a Dividesam is called Bhuloka Vaikuntham, right? It's not been called Bhuloka Vaikuntham for nothing. The Sri Vaikuntham construction, as described by Swami Ramanujar in Sri Vaikuntha Gadyam, also points to the construction of Sri Vaikuntham being very similar to Sri Rangam. So when you see Paramapadanathan, you have 7 gates opening. Those are the 7 peripheries that go around before the final gates open, and then you have Jaya Vijaya, the Dwarapalakas outside, and then you go, and then there is Perumal behind that. So those Sapta Prakarams are supposed to be representative of Sapta Lokams that are like the Sapta, circumferences past which you have to get in order to go reach Sri Vaikunthanath. Okay, that was a good question. It's really not named after the Sapta Lokam, but it is supposed to be representative of the Sapta Prakarams as Sapta Lokams. You have to go past those and in order to reach Ranganatha Perumal, very similar to Sri Vaikunthanath.
Okay, and Vaibhav, about your question, the 7 names are Bhulokam. The first one is Bhulokam, which is full of houses and shops. The second one is Bhuvarlokam, which is Tiruvikraman, Tiruvidi, which is basically the street. Suvarlokam, which is like Kili Choran or Agalangan Tiruvidi street. Maharlokam, Tirumangai Mannan street or Alinathan Tiruvidi. Janolokam is Kulasekaran Tiruvidi. Tapolokam is Rajamahendra Choran Tiruvidi. Satyalokam, it's also called Garbhagraham. It's Dharma Varma Choran Tiruvidi.
Oh, there you go. You got the answers for the separate street names and their corresponding lokams. That was very nice. I didn't know that. Thanks, Varshini.
I have a question. So in the photos in the slideshows that you got in the book of that you got that from the book of life history of Sri Ramanujar, and in on page 45, Ramanujar, it says that Ramanujar so this Vaishnavite with Tirukudangudi Nambi, and there's the Vaishnavite, and he applied Thiruvan Kapur and Thiruvan Kapur and applied him the name as Vaishnava Nambi. And so when he went to the Sri Ranganatha temple in Sri Rangam, he was stunned to see that same Thiruvan Kapur on Ranganatha's on Ranganathan, And so after that, he only recited Sharanagati Gadyam. And one of Vasumati, the first question that Vasumati asked, this is straight from the book that that's what I tried to answer.
Yeah, understand. That's definitely true, Kana. Great answer. And I really, the biggest point I like about your answer is you backed up your answer with the proof from a book. That is very important we've been touching this on every single class is you have to follow pramanams. So I definitely appreciate great point that you brought up, Aparajitan, that is written in the story. But there are also many reasons that go along with it in order to convince Ramanujar to perform Sharanagati to Ranganatha, right? So this point is definitely one of it. So great point. More than the answer, what's more impressive is that you bring your back up your answer with proof. That's even very more impressive. So great job there. And definitely Namperimal or Periya Perimal is Perimal's Perimal. It's not just humans Perimal. He's also Perimal for Perimal. That is a notch higher. So there are several aspects that went into Ramanujar. So see, Ramanujar does not do one thing based on one-dimensional reasoning. Multi-dimensional reasoning and convincing happens in his mind before he picks anything or he does anything. So one of the main reasons was the one that Vasumati pointed out. Well, what you mentioned from the book is also definitely one of it. So you do get credit for that answer. Good job. Good job, Aparajitan. Vaibhav, I think you had your hands up.
Just a question. I was kind of confused because I was taught that the Thiruman that Ramanujar put on Vaishnavanambi disappeared, and they went around the Koval and they found in the Perumal Sannadhi, Perumal was in the Tirukkurangudi, not Srirangam. I don't know.
No. What he says is that Thiruman was also seen by Ramanujar in Srirangam.
Oh, okay. Both Kovils.
So when he goes into the temple in Tirukkurangudi, and then Sundara Paripurna Nambi or Vadivalihiya Nambi, that Perumal is actually, if you know, is almost painted in green color. He's a Kalapam Perumal. That Perumal is not made of, daru, or he's not made of other pratishtas generally that you would see. He's made of a Kalabam, Varna Kalabam. It's like a sandstone composite. And then there is a herbal paint that they apply on top of it on Perumal, and Perumal almost looks green. So this Sundara Paripurna Nambi or Tirukkurangudi Nambi had the same Thiruman that Ramanujar had applied to Vaishnava Nambi in the Pushkarini. That's the story for that part. But what Aparajitan is mentioning is that same Thiruman was also comparable to what Swami Ramanujar saw on Ranganatha, probably Moolavar. Okay, Moolavar Perumal does have Thiruman. Utsavar Perumal only has Kasturi Tilakam. So probably the Moolavar Perumal's Thiruman was something that Ramanujar related to the Vaishnava Nambi incident, and so he was convinced on many aspects and many levels. And also keep in mind, Ramanujar was at the ripe age past 105, 110 years when he did the Sharanagati. So he really knew what he was doing. Okay. So any other questions from the kids, Ma? It's already 20 minutes past.
If there's a little bit time, I have one last question. So I mentioned about Ariyar Sevai, but does anyone know what is Ariyar Sevai?
It's when during Vaikuntha Ekadasi for the Rapat and the Pagalpat, when the Arayars dance and sing and say the Divya Prabandhams for Ranganatha Perumal on those certain days. And I think that they're born in a certain family to do it.
Yeah, but do you know the name of the family? Like the hereditary line? Like where did it start? It started from Nadamunigal, and the people who do Arya Sevai are all like the lineage from Nadamunigal downwards. But what are the three only places where Arya Sevai is performed today?
Srirangam.
There are three places.
Is it performed in? I think it's performed in Tirukkurangudi.
Not Tirukkurangudi. The three places are Srirangam, Srivilliputturu, and Arva Tirunagari.
Very nice, fantastic. So once again, yeah, Vasumati has something. You're on mute, I think. Vasumati.
Quickly, I just wanted to ask 2 questions, you guys. When I mentioned a Pandari Swami, do you guys know what a Pandari Swami is? Because they also play a big part in Sri Ranga Kovid and this story. So do you guys know? So Pandari Swami is the Tayar Sannadhi Archagar. So a Pandari Swami, they are Tayar Sannadhi Archagar, and they speak on behalf of Tayar during the Pranaya Kalagam. And the one last question I had for you guys was, do you know what the basic thing Perumal is trying to say in all 3 of his Charama Shlokams? Because I didn't.
Surrender to me.
And what would he do for you?
Surrender to me is.
Surrender to me and he will protect you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I had.
Wonderful. I think we'll wrap that up. It was a very interesting session. I didn't feel the hour and a half passing.
Just want to add one thing. This is Kannan Mama here. Bandari family, the Pandari family is actually from Thiruvaranga Perumal, Thiruvaranga Tamudanar family. They come in that family. And second thing is, they are not actually Archakas, but they are the caretakers. Archakas are always across the board, from Ranganatha temple, whoever does there are 3 Sannadhis, comes from the same family of Archakas, Periya Perumal Sannadhi in Sri Rangam, and Tayar Sannadhi and Sudarsana Alvan Sannadhi. These are the 3 Sannadhis and Dhanvantri. These are the 4 Sannadhis, always maintained by the main Archakas. And of course, there are several small temples within the temple, because Sri Rangam itself is a huge temple, right? So the smaller temples taken care by respective different families. They are not done by the main Archakas, but the main Archakas, they take care of these 4 Sannadhis. Perumal Sannadhi, Tayar Sannadhi, and Chakratarwar Sannadhi, and Dhanvantri Sannadhi.
Thank you, Kannan Swami. Thanks for coming in with the cameo towards the end.
Anybody else? It's amazing what everybody knows so much. All of us learned. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, Kana, it's almost like 26 minutes past, so we'll wrap up. One last appeal again is, if you guys want to be a part of the story session again, feel free to email back Vimala Mami, and we'll definitely find a slot to tweak a topic and also have multiple kids lined up for the sessions. Okay, with that, let's chant Acharya Thaniyan and wrap the session up. Sri Ranganath Shlogo Pitindra Dishtam Lakshmi Sumashazit Pranika Patram Sri Rangavira Virat Shlogo Vityam Vedanta Deshi Yatindra Ham Prapadye Srimad Rangahidar Samam Viral Abdhagam Andadhyam Srimad Virotu Achil Padar Vindashim Srimad Vedam Sudeshi Yate Karunya Vikshaspadam Seve Rangadrina Sasram Sam Narayanam Yoginam Vedanta Deshi Yatindra Dakshabdu Triyan Sarmanam Divanam Badar Grim Narayana Tidur Kripal Jiktam Shrigna Shekram Ashyam Ha Lakshmi Srimade Shivan Chiragovashe Vedanta Deshi Yatindra Mahadeshikaya Namaha Lakshmi Divyapaduka Sevaka Shivan Chiragovashe Narayana Yatindra Mahadeshikaya Namaha Shivan Chiragovashe Ranganath Yatindra Mahadeshikaya Namaha. Thanks everyone. It was very nice. Thanks to the kids for presenting.
Daniel,
Bye.